Hello once again. We're talking again with Devin Dye, the land guy. And Devin, that sort of rolls off the tongue and would indicate that what you do might be simple, but there's a lot that goes into you helping that buyer meet the seller and vice versa.
Yeah, negotiations is a large part of what we do, but more importantly, it's helping the seller showcase their property. I've invested a lot of time, a lot of money in becoming an expert in that area with furthering my education from the Realtors Land Institute. It's it's an organization that I'm a part of that helps me become better at what I do simply for my clients. Sellers are investing, they're trusting me with their largest asset. And if I can't handle that, if it's not handled properly, it could cost them a lot of money. And that's not something that we really want to focus on handling their asset with our best ability.
Most oftentimes that person that owns the land may think that it's valued higher than it actually is. If you agree with that person, that's sort of an injustice, but at the same time, when the person that's wanting to buy it is trying to get it too low, that's a disservice as well to the person that's selling. So you have to have that knowledge to meet in the middle, be a good negotiator, and make both sides come out being very happy.
Yeah, that's the key. I think that some of the things that go into understanding the value of farmland are soil types, tile, location. We have areas in our market, in our area that we work, that the soil types could be relatively similar from one county to another. However, the overall money in an area affects the price. It just depends on location. That's always holding true in any real estate transaction, is the old phrase, location, location, location. But furthermore, understanding, what that specific asset has, a road frontage, soil type, what the previous fertility records show. And having all that when you're selling a property is very crucial to show really what the whole value of your property would bring to the table.
You know, Devin, I think farmers are a group of people that stay as educated as they possibly can. And I'm not talking specifically about higher institutions of learning, but those monthly periodicals, those newsletters. And speaking of newsletters, you have one, and you try to cram as much vital information into that on a regular basis. Tell us about your newsletter.
So one of the things that I like to provide to clients, customers, people that just want to know more about what's going on in the farmland market. Like I said, I live in Allen County, and I feel like I live in the mecca, the center of agricultural real estate in our state. So one of the things that I do is I try to go to every farmland auction, every sale. Anytime there's a farmland sale, either myself or a representative from our company is there tracking what that sells for. And then I send out a quarterly newsletter that summarizes what the farmland market is doing in West Central Ohio and Northwest Ohio, because we have a lot of owners. I have several hundred people that are subscribed to my newsletter. And a lot of the owners live in California, live in Texas, and other states, and they have no idea what the home farm that they grew up on is valued at today. And my newsletter helps keep people informed when they're what we call absentee owners, and helps them stay informed with what's going on in their local market. Because, like I said previously, this is most likely one of their largest assets.
Well, tell us a little bit, before we leave this subject, what your newsletter's name is. How do you get involved with it? How do you find it?
So you can send me an email, Devin at RSRE, that's Ron Spencer Real Estate, rsre.com, and I'll put you on there. You can call my cell phone number. It's on me all the time, 419-303-5891. The newsletter is called The Yield, has several meanings behind it, but I think the biggest one is just helping the landowner understand the value of their asset. And if you reach out to me, that goes out quarterly, and I would gladly put you on there and and help you stay informed.
As I mentioned, farmers, as a group of people, I believe, try to stay as informed as possible, and that over time helps their bottom line, I believe.
Yeah, it's incredible. The diversity of people that I've gotten to meet through this business is incredible, and the farmers amaze me. We have a group of people that are very, very much invested in their business, and the days of just looking at a farmer as a guy that rides around on a tractor, I believe, are gone. These people are, in some cases, multi-million-dollar business owners, and they're very invested in their assets. They're very invested in their operations, and it's pretty cool to see how everything's ran today with such just ease in some of these operations.
Well, conversely, Devin, farmers that have been on the land for years and years have been pretty good stewards of the land. They know that, and I've heard this many, many times, we want to leave the land better for our children than in the condition in which we received it. And so they're looking to take care of it. So once it leaves a family, a good steward, that land has more value than it did when they first started farming it.
Yeah, we're seeing that a lot. There's even more emphasis on that today. And when we get a hold of them, when I get a hold of a property, I like to ask those questions. What have you done drainage-wise? What have you done? I mean, today there's a big push for cover crops and fertility of the farm, so that when we reach out to a buyer, those questions are always asked. You know, can I get soil samples? What's the tile like? Is there anything there that I need to know? And us understanding, myself understanding those things about these farms is a big deal when you're looking to make a big purchase. So not only from the seller standpoint, but we talked about the seller being their largest asset. It's a very large asset when the buyer's purchasing it, and they need to understand what the history of that property looks like from a stewardship standpoint, as far as fertility, drainage, and those type of things. You know, we'll see in some areas where waterways need to be put in. You know, you have these big ruts in farms. We don't like to see that. We like those things taken care of, and we like the farms handled in a way that when the next generation comes on, they can just pick up where the last left off.
Devin, you've been involved with agriculture all your life, and being the land guy, the expert in land, have you had farmers come to you and asking you, maybe they're not ready to sell their land or move their land, but have there been people that have come to you and say, what do we need to do to make our land more valuable? Is that something that you have conversations about from time to time?
Yeah, I have had those conversations, and I think that the most important part is thinking about the future. You know, a 5-10 year plan down the road. I mean, the things that we've seen come into play in the past or in recent is when we're selling a farm, we have GPS systems out there right now that GPS systems that are out there right now that can give instant fertility records on property, where they were a little bit vague in the past, and how do we get that information? And today we have the technology that exists that the second a farmer pulls out of a field, he has a printout from his system on board that can tell us what the fertility is, what a yield is in a specific farm. And that's data that is priceless when we go to sell a property. And as we've seen the value of land consistently increase over history. Yeah, we've had prices come down a little bit here recently, but nothing that would be significant. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the technology and the growth of agriculture in itself has had a direct effect on farmland values.
Well, technology has come so far. I have a grandson that has a drone. It's a toy. But there are drones that are used by farmers that can tell them so much information.
Yeah, and for us, we just use a simple drone to shoot footage of our properties that we have for sale, because it's like this. If I was to take you to buy a home, I pull up to the front of the house and say, hey, you want to buy this house, but you can't go inside it and look at it. It's very difficult to make a decision to purchase that home without being able to see the inside of it. And when we sell a farm, our aerial footage is really, really essential, because now we can get you inside that property. You can see maybe some areas that are, problem areas, but you can also see if it's got drainage and it's in very good condition. The drones, they just show that way different than anything in the past has.
Once again, if folks would like to get in touch with you to find out some more information, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can email me at devin@rsre.com, or you can send me a text message, a phone call on my cell phone at 419-303-5891. Look me up on Facebook, Devin Dye, the real estate guy.
A good visit today, and we're going to be visiting with Devin on a monthly basis. Hope that you can join us each and every time, but if you miss one, you can always go to that website. Devin, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And stay with us more right after this.